to Lobe Live. My name is Krishana Smith and I am the designer for Lobe Dangle Haute Couture Leather Accessories. Thank you for joining me today. Today I have the wonderful opportunity to share the couch with someone that I absolutely admire and adore. I think that she's a lady that's full of class and style, and I cannot wait for you guys to hear all about what we're going to talk about today. So before I get into that, just want to let you know, if you are interested and you like what we're talking about on Lobe Live, please hit the subscribe button. It means a lot. You'll be able to get notified on our new videos, and we don't want you to miss a beat. So again, thank you and welcome. Today I am sharing the couch with the lovely Angela Jones, and she is the blogger and owner for Fabuleux Living, which is a home entertaining and lifestyle blog, which is all about living every day with style and flair. I met Angela a couple of years ago, and I want to say that ever since I've been looking up to her. We're looking up to her style. We're looking up to how she's really just, you ever met someone you're like, you are a hostess with the mostest. This is Angela, the hostess with the mostest. So welcome, Angela.
Oh, thank you. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
No problem. So again, this is the time of year where everyone is excited. Everyone's kind of in a frenzy. And the reason I wanted to have you on is because I know that fashion is just not about what you wear, but it's an extension of everything we do. Sometimes it's an extension of our homes. It's an extension of how people perceive us. It's so many things. And I've seen you add touches of fashion and flair to a lot of different things. I've had the ability to have my palate tantalized by your delectable treats. I've seen you transform a space and make it go from blah to wah. So I think it's very fitting that you're here today to be able to share with our audience around holiday time on how we can actually be very fashionable and be conscious of what's happening in our home and to really be fabulous around this time, because a lot of us are just fraying at the ends. So before we jump into all that, because I know you have a lot of goodness that you're going to share with us.
I'm
you have a whole spread here. You guys, you'll see in a little bit. She has a whole spread, and so she's going to be really teaching us. And so what I want to do is, the first question I always ask everyone, I want to know, because again, I'm a leather accessory designer, I want to know about what is your favorite leather piece?
I have quite a few that I really love. Okay. But lately, I've been loving this faux leather skirt that I got from Nordstrom this season. And I love it because it's on trend, because it's the faux, leather. And I love the fact that it's a midi length, so I'm not as young as you are, so I like to have the length, that I can kind of rock it with boots, I can wear it with ballerina flats. So I love this. This has been my go-to. I've been wearing it at least once a week. Switching up the top and jazzing it up with different accessories.
That's right. All in the vein of being a minimalist.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Capsule wardrobe.
That's right. No waste. We want to make sure we're wearing our clothes.
That's right.
Your closet looking cute is not enough. You have to look good in your clothes. So,
exactly.
So Angela, I know that you come from a legacy and a line of women who have done the home well. I mean, just hostess, and they've been doing it well. What made you want to turn your passion into a blog?
Actually, for that very reason. I come from a long line of women who are serious entertainers. My mother, my grandmother, and my great aunt. She was like the grand dame of entertaining.
The great aunt was?
The great aunt. She just passed away in June at 98.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but we still have all of her tips and recipes and everything. Wow. She left a legacy of home entertaining and all that good stuff for us to kind of continue to, carry on to the next generation.
That's right.
So I really want to do a lifestyle blog because home entertaining and cooking and baking is just naturally a part of what I do. I've been baking and cooking since I was 12. I got my first cookbook. I remember. Do you remember Scholastic? The Scholastic thing you came home from school and you brought the little things home to get your books. I didn't get regular books. I got cookbooks.
Wow, very nice.
I distinctly remember doing that. So cooking and baking has been walking and talking for me. So I love to do that. And then the home entertaining piece. My mother was a homemaker. She didn't work outside the home. So that's kind of where I learned how to do all of that. So I decided I wanted to channel that into the blog, but I didn't want to just make it just about cooking and baking because I like fashion. I started off my career in retail. I don't know if you know that, but I started my career in retail. So at one point I was going to go to school for fashion merchandising. So I felt like I had to do a little bit of the cooking, entertaining, baking, fashion. I used to work in beauty. I used to work in cosmetics. I worked for Estee Lauder for some time. I worked for a fashion fair back in the day. Borghese, cosmetics. So I've done a little bit of everything, and I said a lifestyle blog is the perfect way to kind of marry all of those things that I love.
That's right. So wow, you've been exposed to it all, and I'm quite sure you do it all pretty well.
I do okay. I do okay.
So out of everything that you do, if you had to say, if I could only focus on two, what would you do?
I thought you were going to say one. Okay,
no,
two.
Not one.
That helps. If I only had to focus on two, it would be baking. Yeah. And I would still want to do the home entertaining piece. Yeah. And I like baking because I like the science of it all. I like that it's, I'm not a science person. Sorry, Daddy. He's a biologist. I don't like science, but I like the science of baking because it's exact and precise. So that's why I like to bake. I love that. And I love sweets too. So I would have to, who doesn't? I would have to bake. So I would have to bake. And I would still have to entertain because I think that's something that's kind of lost on us now. People have these fabulous homes, but no one entertains.
That's right.
And I feel like home should be shared with other people. So I think that's really important. So that's one of the reasons why I like to blog and talk about that and have people in my home, because I think that's important.
I have to back up and say, when it comes to baking, I definitely would say I'm not going to say that any of them are your weak suits at all. But baking, oh my gosh, she made an olive oil cake that make you want to be like, every day I want it. It was amazing. So
thank you.
And you guys won't get a chance to taste that, unfortunately. But just wanted to put that out there. So you said something that was really key. I think that a lot of times people like the idea of thinking that they want to entertain in their homes, but I think that when people typically buy a home, maybe they get a little intimidated in terms of how do they transform their home to make it their own personal style. What are 2 or 3 things that you feel like, if anything, make sure that this is a personal reflection of who you are in your home? Because I feel like even myself, I've kind of struggled with that. Like, well, I like this couch, or I like this painting. Like, what is it that you? Of course, at the end of the day, you want it all to be a reflection of who you are. But if you say, you know what, some of these things are just basic, they want sale, it kind of just serves the purpose. What are those things that you feel like could really infuse your own personal style into your home?
I think, for me personally, I feel that people are kind of intimidated because you kind of feel like you're in this box. Oh, I have to be a traditionalist, or oh, I have to be a modernist, and I kind of feel like someone told me, this gentleman, I was downtown and I was at this really chic furniture store. Couldn't afford anything in there, but I was just walking around in there, and I said, tell me, I asked him because he'd been doing it for years. He was the owner of the store. I said, tell me what you think someone needs to kind of have it. He said, don't worry about what the styles are. Don't worry about what the trends are. He said, as long as you have everything you love. He said, walk around your home and think about what you love. And kind of infuse those things. And that's kind of what I've incorporated along the way over the years. I don't have everything is modern or everything is antique. I have a little bit of everything. And I think that mix is better. And then I'm sentimental, so I like to have pictures of my family and my things up on the wall, and I have a whole big gallery wall that's full of the people that I love. So when I walk in my house every day, I see everybody that I love on my wall.
Amazing.
So I think that not getting in that box I have to but I'm not modern, but I'm not traditional. Just put in a little bit of everything that you love, and it's going to all make sense. I think that's the best thing to do.
That's a great tip. Thank you for that. That was good. And I think that will help those who are just kind of a little frustrated with their own personal home decor style.
It's a lot because there's so much out there now. And you can kind of get a little overwhelmed between commercials and then shows like HTV and, websites like House and, House and things like that. It's just kind of it can be a lot. It can be a lot, but I think if you just hone in on what you really love, and maybe just look through some different home magazines, Traditional Home or Elle Decor, just kind of start cutting out pictures and putting together like a vision board and figuring out what you like.
Good idea.
And put it all together.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So we're going to transition right into holiday because, I mean, that's where most people are spending their time. They're in someone's home. And for the person who says, you know, this year I want to host Thanksgiving. I want to host Christmas. Can you give me some ideas of can you give us all some ideas of some cool holiday transformations, some cool things that they can do where you don't feel like you have to take everything out and do everything over or go pull out everything from your storage? What are some small things that can really elevate your home and make people feel like this is holiday time? What do we do?
I think for starters, it starts at your front door.
Okay.
You want when
so
people walk in the door.
Or you talking about inside?
I'm talking about at
in
the
door.
front door.
Okay, at the door.
Yeah,
okay.
that curb appeal.
Okay.
A wreath, a welcome mat. You know, maybe have some lanterns out. You know, out in front of the door. You know, this time of year, pumpkins. You know, it could even be a bale of hay. Have your pumpkins on top as your, you know, like as props. Like you want it to be inviting for people before they even enter them. So they're like, I want to go in there.
Yeah.
I want to see what's behind that door. So I think that's a big, you know, a small way. You don't have to spend a lot.
Yeah.
And right at the front door, you already kind of set the tone for what's to come. So that's definitely one way. And I think just throughout your home, I'm into scents. So the way your home smells is a big deal. And you don't even have to go out and buy candles. You could do something as simple as I will just boil cinnamon sticks, some nutmeg, cloves, especially for this time of the year, some orange, put a little splash of pure vanilla. Oh my gosh.
You just leave the pot on the stove and it just and
that smell permeates all through your home.
Wow.
And it just smells so warm and inviting.
Wow.
Just little things like that.
That's good.
Make such an impact. I mean, think about that. So you've already set the tone with everything at the door. And then people walk in and it's like they smell all of that, you know, that wonderful aroma. It's amazing. Those are two little things. And those are things you already have at home. You don't have to spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
You don't have to necessarily go to a candle store and buy. You can create that with water, cinnamon sticks, like I said, orange, cloves, a little nutmeg.
Wow.
And a little bit of vanilla.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
That's it.
Wow.
That's it. That's everything you have at home.
Who did you learn that from? Just tell me.
My mom.
Your mom?
I did.
I tell you,
she's the best.
I tell you, it's a lot of treasures, and you know, having a mom who really instills just good stuff in their daughters and their girls. You know, and if you don't have a good mom, then you have the opportunity to still glean from other women who do it well, and so that's amazing. Never heard of it in my life, and my mom was great, but here's another one who's just, you know, she's doing something else, and so okay, so cool. Okay, we got a couple of tips, some things that we can do. We go to catch them with the curb appeal. We're going to hit them with the scents when they come in the house. What about what we look like as a hostess? I mean, some people are blessed enough to be able to just go around to tons of holiday parties, and we'll get to that in terms of what you can do to bring the hostess if you're just coming in and just kind of enjoying the festivities. But what about if you're the host? What are some ideas and some things that a host can wear in the home and feel like they haven't been sweating all day? I mean, you know, it's all about the impression and just making people feel comfortable. And if you're comfortable, then I think everyone else feels comfortable. If you look good, then they're happy to be there. If the house outside looks, you know, all of these things play a big factor on what happens when they're there. So help the hostess. What can a hostess wear?
Now, I would be very frank in that I'm just getting this part right, because I put so much into everything else. Yeah. And then at the last minute, I am scrambling like, oh my gosh, jumping in the shower and putting my face on, and then you know, trying to pull it all together and come to the door. Hello. I woke up this way. But
that's exactly how we do it.
Exactly. What I've learned for me, especially, and this is, like I said, I'm just getting this recently. Okay. Plan out what I'm going to wear ahead of time. Yeah. Like everything, like put everything out, because normally you just have a few minutes to kind of pull it all together. So normally when I wake up the morning that I'm hosting, I just get up, get my shower, so I don't have to scramble and do that. Yeah. And I kind of get maybe like, you know, everything kind of laid out and kind of have what I'm like cooking in, like on, and do my face, at least partially, even if I'm just putting on my foundation and my powder. So at least when it's time, like right before guests come, all I have to do is just kind of do like the finishing touches.
Wow.
Slip on my outfit, and then I can look like the hostess with the mostest.
Wow. What I'm hearing from you is all about preparation.
That's key. That's key.
You know, like none of this happens on accident.
Yeah.
It just doesn't fall in place. Nothing does.
No. Anyone who tells you that entertaining is not daunting is not telling the truth. It is, but it doesn't have to be if you really plan it out. You know, those details do make a difference.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me about the attire. What are some things that the hostess can wear?
Sure. My go-to is usually a dress because it's easy and I don't have to. Right. And I'm a dress girl anyway, and I don't have to think about a top, a sweater, or anything. So I normally do a dress, but lately I've really been into doing a tunic and ankle pants. It's very chic. It's very low key, but it's still saying, you know, I have some style, but it's comfortable. Okay. So I'm a heels girl, but heels in the kitchen are not cute.
No.
Not cute. Not cute.
That's right. It's not.
So you need to be comfortable and realistic and practical. Yeah. So I'll wear like ballerina flats, like ankle pants, and a really cute tunic. For the fall, for fall entertaining, holiday entertaining, I've been kind of like into like the tunic with like the tassels at the bottom, or some kind of palms, or something that still kind of looks festive, but it doesn't have to scream like holiday. Yeah, you know, because everybody's not into glitter and sequins, but you still want to add a little bit of juice, you know, just a little bit, without being like over the top and still being comfortable. Because you're standing in the kitchen looking like Patti LaBelle with glitter, and that's not cute either. So you don't want to do that. So you want to be comfortable, but still look chic and pulled together. So that's definitely one really good, hostess outfit that's easy and simple. Okay. I tend to do black. Yeah. Black is forgiving, and if you get something on it, it's just easy if you're still kind of finishing up stuff in the kitchen. You don't want to look, you don't want the, the dish all over your that's right. outfit. So that's right. That's why I kind of tend to do black or a darker color, typically. But
are you hosting this year?
I am doing a little bit of hosting this year. For both holidays, my son is in college. Okay. So I told him, I said, hey, I want to host you and your friends who can't make it home for the holidays. Very nice. So I'm going to go to his campus and, to his apartment and just kind of
show off. Show off for the boys, like, did your mama cook like this? Does your mama look like this? And they be like, Mama, I had these really good olive oil cakes. That's exactly what's going to happen. And all the mamas be like, I need to go to her blog. What is it again? Good time. Hug the blog.
FabuleuxLiving.com.
And can you spell it out for us?
Sure. It's F as in Frank, A, B as in boy, ULEUX living.com.
And Angie already has amazing tips and tricks on there already. I mean, you go in there and you're salivating over strawberry cheesecakes and all types of things. So, I mean, definitely I've been stalking the blog. So, good. So, and you've just released some really cool holiday tips and tricks. And so that's why I want to make sure we highlight those. In lieu of that, what we always do, before we go a little on our second segment in terms of what we're dealing with hostess gifts and things of that nature, in lieu of attire, I wanted you to highlight the piece that you found in the trunk that you felt it was good for this fall season. That's really cool and flexible to wear. So if you can pull that out for us and tell us what your leather fave was from the Lobe trunk.
So I selected this amazing statement collar. It is amazing. I love it because, I'm just gonna show you what it does and let it do the talking for you.
Wow.
But it's so striking. I love this because see, I was very empty in this space here, and it just filled the space up. You could wear it. I just have on studs today, and it's perfect. But if you wanted to wear some of your bigger pieces that kind of hang, you can do that too. And I love it because I've been able to, wear it casual, or it can be worn, and this is perfect for holiday. Yeah. It's perfect because if you are more of a minimalist and you're not really into a whole lot, this says it all.
That's a lot. This says I'm here.
This says I'm here.
I'm here. That's right.
So I love it.
Yeah.
So I think this is the perfect holiday.
And she wears it so well. She wears it well.
And it complements my faux leather, kind of all blends together.
Exactly.
But you can rock it with jeans. You can rock it with an evening gown. You know, strapless or, you know, something with, you know, that's even, you know, has a low V-neck.
That's right.
Either you can rock it either way.
That's right.
So I love it.
And this is a really cool statement piece for the minimalist as well. So when you're saying, hey, I don't want to be too fussy, but I want to be striking for the holiday time, then I'll invite you to go to lobedangle.com and you can shop the black leather cuffs, collars rather. So yeah, and Angie looks amazing in it. Thank you so much. Okay, so Angie, you've already told us, you know, if you're hosting, some cool things that we can do to kind of, you know, make it less stressful. What about the person who gets invited to these places and you're thinking, ooh, the menu's going to be great. And then you may ask the person, what can I bring? And they say, oh, nothing. Don't believe them. You always want to bring something. You know, you don't want to be the one that gets talked about because someone else is going to come. Maybe every other couple is going to come with something and you're going to come empty-handed. Don't do it. No. So what are some fallback things that you can just always go to as a nice go-to, as a nice hostess gift? That is an extension of your class, your grace, and your style.
I have some for you.
Okay, great.
So if you don't want, like, I don't drink wine, and I know you don't drink either. No. So you want to kind of do something that's outside of that. And if the person is having wine on the menu, they probably already have that all planned out. So these are some really unique things that can be more personal for the hostess.
Yes.
So books. I know you're thinking, what? But specialty cookbooks. If that person is a serious entertainer, they would love to have a cookbook, any kind of cookbook. So that's a great idea. Maybe the cookbook with some nice, really unique, you know, tea towels or dish towels to put inside with it. That's a nice little touch.
Great idea.
I got this book as a gift from my goddaughter. It's called What's a Hostess to Do? It has so many different tips and tricks and different ideas for the hostess. So this is perfect for the hostess.
Very nice.
For the home, a nice coffee table book.
That's a great idea.
Mr. and Mrs. Obama just had their these books released, I think last month. So a nice coffee table book is a great idea for the home. Something they can, you know, just have in their home, which I think is amazing.
That's great.
And if the hostess is a coffee lover or a tea drinker or even gourmet hot chocolate, you know,
that's a great idea.
Those are great, you know, with a beautiful mug, you know, put that down in a gift bag. Home Goods is my best friend.
That's right.
Home Goods, gourmet hot chocolate, $5. You can get a mug for $5, $10. Put it in a lovely gift bag.
Fashionable bag.
Very fashionable bag. Fashionable bag has to be a cute bag. Got to be a cute bag.
That's right.
You know, and that would be great if they love candles and things like that. Beautiful scented candles, and I love the packaging now that you can get with the candles. I mean,
gorgeous.
They're stunning. So something like that is perfect. If the person is a writer or, you know, a note person, you know, personalized stationery, you know, with a really nice pen to go with it,
Very nice.
a journal. Those kinds of things are nice little things that you can give someone as a nice little, you know, saying, thank you for having me.
That's right.
You know, it's expensive to host someone.
Absolutely.
And no one has to, you know, offer their home up to someone.
That's right.
So it's just really nice.
That's
to
right.
do a little something for them.
And being thoughtful.
Exactly.
And fashion forwardly thoughtful. So make sure it looks great, but make sure it's something that would fit the person and they can appreciate. Because no one wants to waste money. So I think these are really good.
Exactly. And last but not least, if we're going to go with flowers, because that's the other thing, people either bring flowers or wine or something like that. Well, take that off the hostess's plate. That's one less thing for her to worry about. Say, I'm going to take care of the flowers for you. Either... You know, order some flowers and have them delivered the day before the event.
Nice
very classy, very nice, and surprise her. In that instance, I would surprise him or her. So they're like, "Oh my gosh!" They see the card, and you know, say something really nice like, "We are so looking forward to dinner tonight or tomorrow. You know, can't wait to see you.
Wow,
love, Angie." That's amazing. A nice little touch. But if you're gonna bring them yourself, here's a great thing to do, and this is either for the hostess. Or, you know, for the hostess to do if you're hosting the meal yourself, or if you want to bring it for the hostess. These are grocery store flowers that I just cut down. We tend to kind of put them all in a vase and think, oh yeah.
And you need your vase like this. Exactly.
But get a smaller vase. Cut them down, and it'll make it look a little more
like a nice little bouquet.
Exactly.
It's beautiful.
Exactly.
And tell us about this. Oh, this is Y'all have to see. This is gorgeous.
So this is just some fresh cranberries and sliced oranges.
Wow.
You add that to the vase, and it's seasonal.
And it's hiding all the stems.
It's hiding all the stems. And it's just a chic way of presenting a floral arrangement, too.
It really is.
And it fits in with the season because this time of the year, the scents are orange and
those flowers like, oh, thank you. Yes, this is delightful.
Exactly. You're like, ooh, it's just not regular water. I like this.
I'm thinking like, wait a minute.
For Christmas, you could change the orange and put limes in.
Wow.
And
I
there
tell
you have
you,
it. Voila.
isn't that fashionable? A fashionable vase.
Yes, of course.
Thoughtful. This is a beautiful hostess gift.
They would love that. And it's unique.
I love it. I
They
love
love
it.
it.
I love it. So this is definitely alleviating some stress. Hopefully you're taking notes and you're saying, you know, I'm going. You're already starting to think about some things that you can give to some people who already invited you to the places to dine with them for the holidays. So take note of some of these really cool things.
Absolutely.
Really beautiful. So tell us about some overall tips and tricks that can help the holidays to be less stressful, because I want people to really get in your mind of the things that make hosting easy and a breeze and something fun to do, because a lot of people want to do it, but they're like, I do not want to clean this house. I do not want to buy everything. I mean, it's so many things that you have to consider.
It can be overwhelming, especially if you're a novice in entertaining. It can be like, I'm not doing it. I'm just going to grandma's house. It's just easier to do it that way. But if we're going to do the adult thing and you have a home now, you want to open it up to everyone and take that pressure off so that they don't have to, your mother or your grandmother doesn't have to be the host anymore. So a couple of things, I think, for starters, I think people think, I don't have everything that you need to entertain. These days, you can do, eBay. You can do secondhand stores. And remember, I think one thing that is so charming and, ideal if you don't have everything is to do vintage china. And it's perfect if it doesn't match. I love that look.
It doesn't match?
No. All that matching, I know. Clutch your pearls. No, it doesn't have to match. And I think we have to get out of that notion that everything's got to match. No, it's actually better and has a more eclectic and homey feel if it all looks a little different. It doesn't have to. It should all complement each other. We don't want crazy colors, but it should all complement each other.
Okay.
So everything doesn't have to match.
Okay.
So that's one thing.
Okay.
So that's one way you can get your china in and not be so expensive, if you feel like I don't have all those kinds of things. And another thing is, I'm a china girl, but if you don't have china, this is the best thing since sliced bread. This is some plastic, premium plastic dinnerware. And it looks like, if you just saw this sitting down, you would think that it was china.
That's right.
Until you lifted it, or until you got closer to it. You can get the stemware, you can get the silverware that looks like it's actually silverware, and everything. So this is another option, and it's easier on cleanup, so you don't have to deal with the china kind of thing that you have to kind of hand wash.
That's right.
That's a great thing to do, so you don't feel so intimidated by not having everything. These days, entertaining is made much easier because there's no excuse, because you can buy stuff at the store. You can buy a complete Thanksgiving meal now if you wanted to, but we're not doing that.
That's right.
You can, though. So I'm saying there's just no excuse to entertaining.
Right.
At the end of the day, people really just want to be together.
That's right.
They're not really,
They're like, oh my gosh, this is
not. I can't believe
this
she
is not
did.
sober.
They're not doing that.
No one's doing that.
You're real people.
Yeah.
The people who really love you are not doing that.
They're more being picky. They're more picky about the food.
Exactly.
If anything's going to get critiqued, it's going to be the food and maybe your home.
Exactly.
But China?
Nah, they don't care.
Yeah.
Another quick tip is, especially when it comes to the grocery shopping, you're not going to get it all done in one trip. Don't even take yourself through that. Like this week in the blog, I'm telling people to start to plan their grocery list. And I know you're like, oh, we got, start planning it. Start buying the non-perishable things. Buy those things this week. Get it out of the way. No later than the week before Thanksgiving. Get all your non-perishable things. And then make a second trip to get your perishable things. Your dairy, your produce, those kinds of things. That'll take a lot of the pressure off. I've seen women in the grocery store buying everything. Pumpkin spice, cinnamon, celery.
That's stressful.
Everything. It's too much. But if you think about that, Survey your pantry. Realize what you have so you don't duplicate stuff. Take an assessment of what you already have. Then buy those non-perishable things first.
Very nice.
Then a couple of days out, do that. That'll take so much of the pressure off. Trust me.
Just by not loading your whole car up and feeling like you're going to fall in the house with bags.
Yes.
And then not knowing where to put all this stuff. So
And
it
that's
gives
the
you some
other
time
thing.
to be able to pace, put things in your pantry, get it together,
Clean
organize.
your pantry out.
Yeah.
You know, to start to kind of weed out stuff. Clean the refrigerator out.
That's
There's
right.
something away in the back of that refrigerator that should have been tossed a long
That's
time
right.
ago.
That's
Get
right.
rid of all that stuff so you can make room for what
That's
you're
right.
bringing in.
That's good.
So those
a
things,
good tip.
that will definitely help. Another thing is, especially in our culture, we tend to make way too much food. And I've been guilty of this. And I've decided to dial it back. Because think about it. After you eat it like by Saturday, you're ready for a hamburger.
It's over. Yeah. You're
The
right.
jig is up. You don't want it anymore.
Yeah.
So dial it back. Like I know in my family, we tend to do a turkey and ham and salmon and ribs. I'm not exaggerating. Southern roots. And then 3 starches, 5 vegetables, and 6 to 8 desserts. And that is not, I'm probably
That's
missing
not
something.
exaggerating. Yeah, no.
No.
I know you're not
No.
exaggerating.
But dial it back. People,
Yeah.
people get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
It's almost like when you go to an all-you-can-eat buffet.
That's right. It is. It's
It's overwhelming. And then you don't
And
even
there's a lot
really
of
end up-
waste.
And
There's so much
and that's
waste.
the other thing I want to mention. And then it's so much waste. For instance, we're not dark meat eaters, so I'm just doing a turkey breast. It doesn't even take as long to cook. Then the whole bird. And if your family is like that and you don't eat a lot of dark meat, why even buy the whole bird? Just buy turkey breast. It's easier. It's time consuming. Time efficient.
Wow.
That makes it easier too.
Wow. Very good.
That makes it easier too. I think another good tip is do as much prep as you can ahead of time. For instance, I do my bread like maybe a week or 2 out. And I know you're like, what? The bread? I know. But listen, think about it. I know you're like,
Bread.
you're like, Ange, explain
It
that.
has to be a catch to this.
I'm going to, you're like, explain, Lucy. You explain. With the bread, make your biscuits or your yeast rolls that you like where you would normally make them, but instead of putting them in the oven, sit after you prepare them, put them on baking sheets, sit them in the freezer, let them form and freeze, then take them out, put them in freezer bags. They're all ready for the day of. Because who has time to think about it? Because if you're making like yeast rolls or anything like, it takes time for them to rise and all of that.
I don't know, maybe we're making yeast rolls.
Okay, so maybe not.
We're gonna get a can of this.
But you know what? I think that you'd be more inclined. Listen,
I'm learning. This year I may do some yeast rolls. I may take some pictures.
I have a yeast roll recipe you can do in 30 minutes.
You had an olive oil cake recipe.
You can do that in a minute. That's coming on the blog too.
Oh yes!
Yes.
That's gonna be on my Thanksgiving. That may be my host's gift.
That's the easiest thing.
Olive oil cakes, but that sounds amazing. Okay, yeast rolls.
Yeah,
2
or your
weeks out.
biscuits. I mean, like a week or 2 out.
Put them in the
bread.
freezer.
I mean, because if you want to have homemade bread and you don't want to pop open a can
That's
of
right.
biscuits or whatever, you can do that and have that done. And you know that's already done. It's amazing. Make your cornbread for your stuffing. Have that done already. And put it in the freezer and tuck it away. And then you know that's done and you don't have to make the stuff, make the cornbread and make the stuff in the same day. Come on, let's take out a step.
Wow.
It's easy.
That's
It's
right.
simple. Things
That's
like that.
good. That's
Things
good.
like that.
That's
That'll
good.
help you take some of the pressure off.
Wow. Very good. Wow. Anything else you can leave us with? One more tip. One more tip that's gonna like just tighten this whole thing up and make us feel like, I can breathe during the holidays. What is
I
that
will
thing?
say this. If, and I'm gonna clutch my collar when I say this. If you must buy something from the store, add fresh whipped cream to it. Make your own whipped cream. I'm telling you, fresh whipped cream elevates your dish. Even if you have to buy it, make it yourself. And I'm posting that blog tomorrow with the recipe. It's 2 ingredients. Do not buy whipped cream from the store ever again.
Wow.
But you can just put that on the store-bought dessert.
Yeah.
And it'll
good.
take it to the next level.
That's good.
Even
That's
if you're not a
good.
baker.
That's really good. Well, I'm so looking forward to the holidays. I hope that Angela was a whirlwind of information and stuff that we can really use because, you know, no sense of hearing this and feeling relief right now if when it's time to implement it, we don't implement it. Of course, we want to make sure that we're looking fabulous during the holiday times. And how can you look fabulous if you are stressed out all over in your head? Then these tips and these tricks are supposed to be able to allow you to still keep your poise and, you know, look amazing and feel good about the time that you're spending with your family and not be all over the place. So Angela, can you tell us one more time how they can read about your blog?
Sure.
Plug your socials.
Absolutely.
Let us know how we can follow you, support,
Sure.
and all that good stuff.
Sure. Website is fabuleulxliving.com. Let me spell it again. It's FABULEUX living.com. On Instagram at Fabuleux Living. FAB, same thing, FABULEUX Living. And on Facebook, it's Fabuleux Living with Angela Jones.
Yes, good. So make sure that you follow Angela and take these holiday tips and tricks and, you know, subscribe to her blog, write her a note, tell her what you're loving about what she's shared. You know, get that interaction. Blogs are really, they really thrive on that. And so,
Absolutely.
You know, if you liked what we're talking about, leave a note on there and continue to follow her in her home lifestyle entertaining journey. We're looking forward. We'll have Fabuleux Living with Angela back again. And again, I am Quishana Smith with Lobe Dangle, Haute Couture Leather Accessories. Feel free to hit the subscribe button and look out for more videos to come. Thank you so much for tuning in.